Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis of oil and natural gas. I do think, it's looking a little bit better, but I would only be, sprinkling some in at some of these support lines. And I'll let you know kind of what I would do and what I'm looking for. I did do some sprinkling. I did. I admit it. I sprinkled some in. All right. Don't hold it, I'll let you know which ones I sprinkled in. And looking at the charts, we'll dive in here. I'll give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. But let's let the charts do the talking here. This is oil. Got oil pulled up. We'll do the 1 year here. We've got a little wick on the bottom here. Not little. It's a decent sized wick. And what happens with these wicks is people sell these things off. They come down, 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 and then the buyers push them back up. And the momentum's coming back up. So that momentum hopefully can continue into tomorrow, and we can kind of try to put in a bottom here. We've had a big move to the downside, and if you're going to try to catch a falling knife, you better do it at support levels. So we'll look at some of the support levels. I'll kind of give you my opinion here on what's going on. But here's a good kind of big wick at the bottom here, good volume. We're going to zoom in on the 1 month. We're coming on down, and then we're kind of bouncing back up at the end of the day. Here's that end of day move to the upside, and hopefully we can stage some sort of rally here instead of just rolling back over. And if you look, sometimes if you look at the pattern, how this kind of floats back down, it's almost like that V bottom that we see sometimes. I'm going to throw a kind of a trend line in here. There's your trend line. We want to break that trend line. We're still in a downtrend though. We're still in a downtrend. Natural gas, it got sold off today as well. Looking at the 1 year, you can kind of see this thing. We broke out, and then they got some news and reversed it. We could come back and maybe even back test it at a little bit of the lower fours. That is this big old pattern, the massive pattern that we broke to the upside. So what usually happens is you break, you have a back test or return move, and then you launch again. And I think that's what we're doing. We have a little wick at the bottom, not too large. And of this close-up pattern, we are kind of breaking down below support. And we did see a which could be a bottom here where we fought back up throughout the day. So that it's fighting. I'm seeing some signs of buyer life. But it doesn't mean that we're bottoming yet. If we see more buyers step in here, I would be far more aggressive. But there's, actually, this doesn't look too bad. Here's the downtrend line. Let me see if I can square this guy up a little bit. Descending wedge broken to the upside, retest. If we can break this right here at 470 and close above 470, I would say it looks very good. Very good. If we can get some momentum. I did sprinkle into SM Energy, guys. I had to. I'm sorry. It's one of my favorite companies. We're coming down here. Got a little wicks at the bottom here, a little wick at the bottom. I did it towards the end of the day. And these two little wicks, I'm betting that this is going to hold here at $28 flat. I bought a little bit above 28 flat at the end of the day. And hopefully we can get some momentum to the upside. Natural gas, that last one looked pretty good. I was looking more at these charts than natural gas when I was looking at it, because I was looking for something I could sprinkle in here. I also bought more in CDEV, CDEV. And I bought in at a little over $6. So I was looking at this support line. I talked about it yesterday in the daily analysis. I said, if it gets back to this support line, it might be a good spot to pick up. I did what I did is I used my own advice. It came back down. It hit the support line. It came back up at about $6. I said, I'm in, bought it. Boom, 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 buy, buy, buy. And it closed pretty strong. But I got in at about six-ish dollars, a little over like 601, 602 or something like that. And hopefully we can stage a rally off this. And I added, this was SM and CDEV are my two favorite companies. And I wanted to beef them up even more. Why not? In another account that I had. Looking at Callon Petroleum. Again, these things have massive patterns. if you notice, oil was down 4.4%, and these companies were pretty strong. So I was looking throughout the day, and they sold off, and then they started coming back up, and I said, oh, they're going to put wicks on the bottom of their patterns, and I bought in. Now, CPE, this one, I didn't buy this one. I do like CPE, though. Huge head and shoulders pattern. We're right there. Going to the 1 month, we still have a little bit of downtrend left in this thing. It does look like it's trying to put in a double bottom here. We got to have buyers step in. Looking at recaf, I like recaf quite a bit. I think this thing looks good. I like it even at 482 here. We've got good support underneath. It seems to be holding at $5 and a little bit below 5. We kind of pulled on back a little bit. We got a nice big bullish engulfing pattern right there, right here. Pulled on back a little bit, and I'd like to see this thing launch. Maybe they can release that news. I'm very excited about this one. I think if they can have some good news and come out, I think it could do incredibly well. NOG is another one that I like watching. It's got a huge pattern. I think it's highly leveraged to the price of oil. It hasn't really fallen much to the downside. We got 3 big up pressure days, small down days within it. Exactly what I look for in a bullish pattern. Zooming in on it, it looks like it's trying to find some support down here at like $20. I'm a buyer here. I like Northern Oil and Gas here. I would sprinkle in a little bit. Never go all in. Sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Cost average, again, gets you a lower cost basis if you're trying to catch kind of these bottoms. It comes on a sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Like, try to catch something at a support line. If it comes back down, you can sprinkle in more. You still have some dry powder, so to speak. MCF, Contango Oil and Gas, looks like we're coming back and doing almost a retest. There's some good support down here, I think. Let's zoom out. See here, there's support down here. Support from this guy here, support from this guy here. There's some support underneath this. It bounced once here. It bounced twice here. If you like it, this is where I would be sprinkling. I would be doing it myself here. If you like MCF. And I'm looking, and we're finding support all over these. Like, there's support in this zone through here. We're right at that area. And we've got some other support areas through here that we had some bounces. We're probably going to find support here. Right? That's my guess. Again, no one has a crystal ball. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen. But we have some support. Sometimes, we could here use this as resistance and roll back over. But if oil can gain a little bit of footing here, I think these may put in a bottom. We've had an absolute massive sell-off in oil, and this has gone from 490 to 430. It's been pretty resilient. So I think this is kind of a one crescent point that looks pretty good, in my opinion, to look at. GTE, still a little bit of a sell-off, a little bit of buyers coming here at the end of the day. Looking to the left, do we find any support through here? It's kind of breaking through support to the downside. I'd kind of hold off. Maybe it's going to do a full retest on this trend line here. Tellurian, a little bit of selling pressure today. Let's look at it. Buying coming at the end of the day. Hopefully we can get some momentum to the upside. Let me see if we can throw kind of a trend line in here. There's your trend line. It tried breaking today. See how it came up and kind of broke back down at the end of the day there? There's the trend line. It came up and kind of sold off a little bit. Let's see if it can break through it. It's still in the downtrend, though. It's still in the downtrend. CRK. This guy's sold off a little bit today. We're breaking out of the downside. Let's wait for this one. We have a bullish engulfing here. Let's wait for this to break back up through it. I'd be waiting. Sand Ridge Energy. This one broke down today. Let's just wait, see what happens. Be patient here. A little bit of buyers at the end of this day. Hopefully we can get some momentum going to the upside. Here is Tetra Technologies. Broke to the, man. This thing is kind of breaking down here. It looks like it's finding a little bit of support here at 260. Let's see if it holds. I wouldn't be diving in yet, but let's see if this thing can turn and move on up before doing anything. Here's Transocean backing out to the 1 year. Let's back up to the all. Reverse head and shoulders pattern. We're right coming up at that resistance line. Downtrend line, we broke to the upside. We're kind of back testing. We're putting little wicks at the bottom. Little wicks at the bottom means that we sell off and kind of bounce higher. Let me zoom in. This is the 30-minute. We can kind of throw this guy in there. It looks like breaking out to the upside here. Is there a pattern developing like this, like a descending wedge pattern where we could break to the upside? Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe if you guys like rig, Transocean, you'd sprinkle a little bit in at $3. This one looks like an area that I would be looking at. We've got what looks like support through here. So that's what I have for today for oil and natural gas. I'm looking for some buying pressure here. We've had a big, huge sell-off. Oil kind of put this big wick at the bottom. Let's see if the momentum can kind of push this back up and we can get a rebound here and start putting in a bottom. I sprinkled a little bit in. I could be a little bit aggressive. I'm also an ultra bull on oil. I think that we are vastly oil screwed up. We haven't invested the money into increasing production, and I think it's going to manifest itself probably next year or the year after. I also think that governments around the world don't want to spend any money. They're going to restrict investments into it, and they're going to restrict land and so forth. So I think we could have a potential problem in oil. So I'm a big bull on it. And if you guys aren't as bullish on it, then I probably wouldn't put as big of an investment in it. But I'm a bull in it. I think I'm a major bull. And if they're going to be printing money like they are, it's going to manifest itself in higher oil prices. Now, I know there's people out there that are going to disagree. That's fine. But that's my take on it. All of the market conditions are still intact in terms of real estate going higher, low inventory. The housing starts, it doesn't seem to want to budge much above 1.5 and 1.6 million. It's like it's peaking out there. We're still going to get the tailwinds from that. We're 5.5 million homes short in real estate, and I continue to look and monitor those areas. So I'm still a bull. I would be a buyer on this pullback. That's what I am. I have been adding in. The ones that I've added into. I like Northern Oil and Gas. I like SM Energy. I like CDEV. Those are kind of very volatile plays, and they're going to be highly leveraged to the price move of oil, and that they've shown their leverage. Now, I also own a lot in recap, because if they come out with some good news, what is the worth of an oil company that has a very large find in a oil deficit world with very high oil prices in Africa? And what do you think China's going to need? A lot of oil. And India. So if you're over in Africa, they love buying resources over there. So I think, I don't know, for me, I think that's a good fit for me. And I like recap quite a bit. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.